Good afternoon. This is Scott DeCamp. Wait, it's morning. I can't even keep this straight.
It's
like
morning.
Good afternoon. I'm used to saying that. Let's start this over. I'm nursing a calf injury and it's impacting my brain. Yes, I got hurt playing golf yesterday. Tells you how athletic I am. And that's why I'm behind this mic rather than out playing anymore. But Scott DeCamp, CatchMark SportsNet. Good morning, everybody. We are here with the Manistee football team, or members of them from the 2023 football team. We're here at their media day session. Thanks for coming in, guys. I'll introduce you, but thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So we have Coach Troy Bitework here.
That is me.
Thanks for coming in again.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate the support, and always nice to see you.
It's always nice to see you, Scott.
From our days down in Kalamazoo when you were at Portage Northern.
Days and days.
Yep. So senior Isaiah Davis.
That's me.
How's it going, Isaiah?
Good. How are you?
Good. And we have Nick Horkel.
What up?
I pronounced that right, correct?
Yep.
All right, good. No, that's not for Nick. That's for me because I messed up earlier. I get the wah, wah, wah. But, yeah, so we have two of their seniors, two of their key players here on the podcast along with Coach. But let's get to know a little bit more about these guys. First and foremost, Isaiah, tell us a little bit about yourself, what positions you play, what the best part is about playing Manistee football.
I play fullback and D tackle, and the best part of our program is our coaching staff. They're really good and they're great.
And what about you, Nick?
That's very nice of you, Isaiah. So heartfelt.
I play running back and safety, and I gotta say the best thing, I think definitely the coaches, and I just think like being with everyone, all your friends, just playing the sport, it's really fun.
And Coach, what would you say about these two guys? Obviously, to have a successful team and program, it takes everybody. But what would you say about these two young men right here sitting in front of us?
When you, as far as if you're kind of from the outside looking into a program, you only, see it on Friday night. We have parents that volunteer day after day after practice. And so they get to see those kids during practice as well to an extent. But the advantage for me, being a teacher, I have both of these guys and most of the guys in school, whether it's in class, we have our lifting class during the day as well. So probably the thing that stands out to me about both the individuals here, but the vast majority of the guys that we have is what they do in the off season. So, Friday nights for me after 25 years, obviously that's why you do all of this. But seeing individuals like Isaiah, seeing individuals like Nick, going from when they were 7th and 8th graders to 9th graders on to now, to see that progression in their athleticism, but to also see that progression, becoming men, that's what makes this, particular profession very fulfilling because, from a physical standpoint, you get to see an individual like Isaiah, how strong he has gotten, as a state champion power lifter and what he has done on the football field. And Nick is no different. Nick's numbers have grown substantially over the last 4 years and especially over the last year. And so you get exposed to that work ethic and those are the types of things that really stick.
So what classes are you teaching?
I teach in Manistee, I teach econ and government, and then extreme fitness, which is our weightlifting class. So when I was in Portage for those years, I taught history, IB history, but here I'm econ and government and extreme fitness.
And what's Coach like in the classroom, guys?
Very loud. Very, very loud. It's too early for him to be loud sometimes. 'Cause he's like first hour and he's always yelling, but he's fine.
Yes, I agree. Very loud. I mean, I'm glad I don't have his first hour. I have his last hour of the day, so I can put up with it. I'm already awake, kind of, so it's good. But a good teacher, teaches very well. Likes his class a lot.
Did you know that on the side he is an underwear model too?
I did not know that.
No, I'm just making that up. But the guy could be a model though. Do you think?
I don't want that image in my head.
Okay, let's change that subject. Sorry, guys, for taking it down that road. But now,
I'll roll the sleeves up as I'm sitting.
So on a serious note, though, what more can you guys say about Coach and just his impact overall on the program, in the school and just in your lives in general?
Coach Byrick, my life's big impact on my life. I don't think I'd be anywhere that I am right now without him in my life. And I think he's helped me and our whole team a lot over the years. And I think he's just a really fun guy to be with. He's funny, nice, and I think that he's a real role model in my life. So.
Your turn. Was this one of those tough questions that you wanted to avoid?
Yeah, that's right. Outside of football, he's really great. He's great in football, but outside of football, he cares about you. He wants you to know that's not strictly about football, and he loves you as a person, and
That's great. That's what you want. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was you have a new nickname now. Coach is rocking the old logo, the Chippewas on there.
I got a lot of this stuff.
I know there's got, I mean, you got to wear it. The new stuff's coming in, but the Manistee Mariners, what did you guys think of that? When that was up for, discussion, up for a vote or whatever. What did you guys want?
Chippewas.
Yeah, Chippewa.
Yeah.
Chippewa's a lot better.
Yeah.
Mariners is better than Whitecaps, so.
Yeah.
That was the other choice.
Because you said that off camera. You said kind of preferred it that way. Maybe Mariners might have been the better choice for you, huh?
Yeah, when they came down with the two individual choices, they went through like anything in that type of change, you're going to go through, multiple groups and focus groups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came down to those two. And so, if I had my say, it would have been Mariners over Whitecaps. But, from that standpoint, to go off of what you said as well, for me, it's a little bit different. Like I tell everybody, this will be my 11th season in Manistee. I didn't grow up in Manistee, so when you don't grow up in a community, you probably don't have that attachment. But for individuals that have lived there, have grown up there, have gone to school there, for these guys, they were always Chippewas. Obviously, it's going to be more meaningful, but that's the nature of change. It does take time. So.
Yeah. I think the Mariners logo looks pretty good. What they came up with, I thought that looks pretty sharp. But
yeah,
looking at last season, you guys were 7-4 overall. Got to the Division 6 district finals. You finished 4th in West Michigan Conference, Lakes Division, first year in the West Michigan Conference. Just general thoughts on how the season went last year from each of you guys.
Last year's season, I think went very well compared to the last season I've been in here. We went farther than any team in school history, obviously, and I had a really fun year last year. I was really hoping to go farther and win that district championship, but you know how things sometimes turn out. But I think it was a really great season for us, and I think we can progress a lot better this year than last year.
Yeah, I agree with him. We started off pretty patchy in the early season, and then after that loss to Ludington, it kind of changed us, and that's why we went so far, and that's how I kind of look at last year.
Wasn't it Boyne City, right, that you beat in the opener?
Yep.
And they were undefeated at that time, and you won 28-27, I believe, and nice win. You became kind of road warriors a little bit for that playoff run. Had to travel up there, got that W. Then you had to travel up to Gladstone, up in the UP. What do you remember about that trip up to the UP? Any of you guys can chime in.
So we stopped at St. Ignace, the high school our middle school coach went to, and we sat at the field there and kind of embraced the scenery, and that was pretty cool. And then we went all the way to Gladstone, which
a bit of a hike.
yeah, it was pretty far, and it was kind of cold, and really cold.
So you're not going to be moving to the UP anytime soon?
Oh no. But going over the bridge was pretty scary because I'm kind of scared of heights. Just a tad.
Was it swaying? Was the bus swaying a little bit?
No, but looking outside was it was really high, very high.
What did you think of that part of the trip? Nick, crossing the bridge.
I liked it. I'm not really afraid of heights, so I thought it was a really fun trip to go over. I mean, because 2 years ago we went to Lutheran downstate. We took a charter bus down there. That was about 3 hours away. It was pretty fun, but I think the Gladstone was definitely the funnest because it was farthest, and we just just bond with the teammates, listen to music, just talk a lot. So,
what do those experiences, those trips, things like that, and obviously being in the playoffs with where the stakes are a little higher, what do you think that did for the team or does for the program when you get to experience those things?
Those you ask any coach in any state or specifically here in regard to playoffs, what that gives you is, from a coaching standpoint, for a program standpoint, that gives you one extra week and then gives you another extra week. Those extra weeks are, a godsend for a program because you're getting that many more snaps. And so, and the other thing from the standpoint for the program is, these kids, we return a lot of kids this year. So they were in that district championship game. So that's not, that's not some sort of figment you just kind of speak of. You were there. You felt that, you experienced that. You were on the road with that. You did that. And so if you're going to take that next step, now you can build upon that, and it's real. And so, the trip overall, logistically as a coach, you're at the high school level, if you're doing a trip like that at the collegiate level or somewhere else, you have, a director of football ops and all of those people to take care of that, and you probably just get on the bus. It's a little different at the high school level because, as a head coach, you're kind of at the forefront of that logistics of, just the other day when we had camp, I was out in the shed by our field, and the menu from when we went to St. Ignace, one of the extras is laying on the ground. And so, as simplistic as that is, that triggers that memory of that week of, well, you got to make sure the kids eat. You got to make sure, what is that time frame and all of that stuff. And you have people helping you. Obviously, I'm not claiming I did all that on my own or anything of that nature. But that once the logistics are taken care of, then you get that cool aspect of a police escort out of town and all of those memorable things for them. So that adds to the program. That's just those little building blocks you want to put in place. You can't artificially do it. So
When you say menu, I'm sure that Clyde's wasn't part of the diet plan on the way up there. Have you heard of Clyde's?
No.
It's like a burger joint up there.
We went
greasy burger joint, basically, but I heard it's really good. So
we went to the Driftwood Inn. So Isaiah mentioned it, but our middle school coach, Joe Henges, he's from St. Ignace. I moved to Manistee. So he hooked us up. So he met us up there, got us all straightened out, and it's the UP. So Joe walks in, and, he hadn't lived there in 25 years, but still basically knew everybody. So
yeah, that's awesome. So, so moving into this season, what are the goals? What are the expectations for you guys? What would you say, Isaiah?
I expect to build on what we did last year and win that district game. Have a better record going into the playoffs and stuff like that because it's good for the program to keep building. And that's all I got.
What would it be for you, Nick? What do you think?
Kind of same thing. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people saying that oh, I don't think you go as far this year as you did last year because you lost so many seniors. I really don't think that. I really want to go farther than last year, and I really think we can. This how our team's set up right now, and I want to get into November beginning of November, go through November. That's our goal.
I'm not trying to get any bulletin board material here, but you looking at your schedule. What are the highlighted games? I know you guys can answer this, but are there any in particular? Obviously, you always got your rivalry game and rivalry games. Any that you're really looking forward to in particular?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, obviously, Ludington because the rival game, but also Oak Ridge, doing better there. And then Montague again, knowing that they're going to be good again. And Fremont's got a lot of good line from last year that are going to be seniors, so that would be a good game as well.
Yeah, the same with him. I mean, and I kind of can't wait to play Kalkaska because we never really played them because we changed from Holton to Kalkaska, so I really want to see how they're going to play against us too.
Yeah, you opened with them at home, I believe, and then you got Mason County Central coming to you guys in week 2, I believe. So how do you think the schedule plays out for you guys? Sets up, I guess, Coach?
Good. I mean, when you start to, obviously, the strength of when we went into the playoffs last year, I mean, Boyne City was 9-0, we were 6-3, but our playoff points were only separated by 2 points, which is a testament to how strong the West Michigan Conference is. And, we felt going into that, or at least I felt, that we were in a position to win that game based on who we had played. So when you look at our schedule, from top to bottom, and you look at every individual game with as much importance as every other game. That's kind of the point of what you're supposed to do as a coach. But, even though you are obviously preparing for particular aspects of what you're going to see, your main focal point at this point of the year is Thursday, which is scrimmage. So you're starting to, look at, for us, Kingsley and Harrison and Manton, those teams that are there. But then, looking at game one, and you want to get off to a quality start, obviously. Everybody says it's cliche as all get out, but, that's kind of the point to get rolling on your home field. We beat Kalkaska in the playoffs 2 years ago, so we haven't seen him in a little bit. But we'll see him Thursday night at their scrimmage, and then, get rolling out right off the bat.
So any other players, I don't want to leave anyone out, but any other players that you want to give a quick shout out to? Maybe they're working really hard or maybe made big strides or really going to be leaning on them this year.
No.
Nobody.
That was direct. You don't want to pick somebody, right?
No, I don't. I don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't have no favorites.
Anyone for you, Coach? Just anyone? I mean, I know I'd want to leave anyone out or anything like that, but
we return a lot. I mean, from an offensive standpoint, we return our three starting running backs, which two of them are sitting here, and Caden Codd, who's out there. Cannon Petzak returns as a wide receiver. Braden Sorensen returns as a guard. Caius Johns returns as a starter. Along the lines, too, Brian McNeil returns as a starter. Landon Soul returns as a starter. So, we lost some big bodies up front. Caden Van Sickle's up at, camp with Michigan Tech right now as an offensive tackle. And 3 others on that front line. And obviously our quarterback and Jeffrey Huber. But the 90, whatever, when I was looking back at the stats, 94% of our offensive production as far as yards and touchdowns is back. 5 out of our top 6 tacklers are back. So you have a lot of kids right now, working their tails off in this first week and a half. And I've liked what I've seen so far. So,
all right, any parting shots, closing thoughts before we sign off on this podcast?
Yeah, I got one. So I was looking at these like drinks, and yours looks a lot colder than ours does.
Man, because I grabbed mine from the back. I just grabbed yours from the front.
I didn't even realize I had a water.
That's a great observation, but I don't know why that is. Maybe because I'm so cold.
Is that home field advantage?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All these tough questions were giving me dry mouth, so I did sips every once in a while.
No, you guys did a great job. Thanks for joining me on here and joining us here at CatchMark for Media Day. I'm Scott DeCamp with CatchMark. This is Isaiah Davis, Nick Horkel, and Troy Bitework. Manistee football, best of luck to you guys this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.